Spirit of the Lord spoke to me. Say, son, take over.
I've not really sold luxury the way you call it now, but I've sold something related to that in a way. I worked in Standard Chartered Bank, and then I was in retail banking, but we were selling not the everyday retail. You know, you have the general mass market, you have the high streets, or what you call the masstige, that's the mass prestige. Then you have the luxury, you have different categorization. I think the most important thing to know is that when it comes to selling, there are products everybody can afford, there are products everybody can buy, but there are products not everybody will be able to buy. So it will be at that aspiration level. And I think luxury sits there. There are still things I walk by, call them high street or luxury, and I look at them, I go like, someday. Someday, but it's like that, and that's a reality. But I want you to start from somewhere, and as is mentioned, thank you so much for having me. I'm the global head of learning and development for Puma Energy, with a company with presence in 49 countries in the Americas, in Europe, Africa, and of course MEAP, that's Middle East and Asian Pacific. And apart from that, I've also sold. I've been a salesperson myself in Standard Chartered Bank, in Stanbic, you call it Stanbic IBTC, in Stanbic before I moved to South Africa in a learning capacity. I have an MBA, so I know the jargons about marketing and all those stuff. I have a PhD in people development, so I should know about how to develop people. But where I'm going to is, let's start with the real person. The real person that will make the real change is not me or anyone that will speak to you. It is you. The real person that has everything it takes to sell everything you want to sell is you. Water will take the shape of the container. So the very first person you need to deal with is yourself. And hopefully in the course of these sessions, I will have the opportunity to start telling you certain things you need to deal with about yourself. Personal discipline, things you need to have, personal habits. Let me tell you, every successful person has got a routine. There is something they do consistently that produces results consistently, right? But where we should be starting from, if you flip the slide, is the two whys. That's the slide, the two whys. The first one, if you flip the slide, the first why is, why are you trying to sell what you're trying to sell? There's a video I would have shown you, and I believe I can show you in the course of the session, by a man called Simon Sinek, and he said, start with the why. Why are you trying to sell what you're trying to sell? See, if you know your why, it will be easier to convert. And the gentleman was asking a question around luxury in Onisha. By the time you come around with your why, honestly, you find people that will buy the product, or you will find a way to make the product available in a way that people that you have can buy. It's just the way it is about sell. So I'm not really pitching my tent around luxury. She's the expert there. I'm pitching my tent around you selling and making success out of that business. That's my area, right? Your why drives you. I once watched a boxing match, and I I watched a boxing match, and I think it was Muhammad Ali that was actually speaking, and he said that I made up my mind. No, sorry. It was this latest match. This tall white dude and this new guy, black guy. It was last year. Mayweather, thank you. How can I forget his name? You know what he said? He said, they asked him a question after the match. He waited, there were about 10 rounds, and at the 8th round, he took over, right? And he knocked the guy out. Now they asked him, he said himself and his father, they agreed that, his father was his coach, he's his coach. They agreed that the other gentleman was going to get tired after throwing so much punches because he has long hands. But at the 8th round, he will be tired. And that is a time that he will attack, and that is the time he was going to win, finish him. His main aim into that game was to finish him. And he knew exactly when he was going to finish him. So why will he wait round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? He waited for the guy to be tired. Everything he was trying to do was tied around his reason for showing up for that match. As a salesperson, as a business person, you must know what is driving you. And should I tell you the truth? What is driving you might not be what is driving me. Your reason might not be my reason. Let me tell you one of the biggest reasons why I work very hard. And you might not agree, but it works for me. I don't have patience for poverty. Right? I've lived around people who are not successful. I want to be successful. So I'll put a lot of things in myself. I'll build skills. I'll do a lot of things just to be successful. If I have to believe in God, because that's a must for me, I believe in God just to be successful. Do you get what I'm saying? As a salesperson, you must have that drive. That is your why. If you haven't found it, you struggle. Let me tell you why a lot of people struggle with selling. You just pick it because somebody just said, oh no, if you start this business, you can make money. Okay, I will just start, and then if it works, if it doesn't work, I'll just leave it. But if you are driven by something, you pursue it. Number 2, so that's your why, right? Second why. Why should we care? So yes, we show up with this beautiful bottle of perfume. I have mine, and like she said, I finished one, but this is still in my wardrobe. It's hidden somewhere. You know, it's even the weight itself. You know, you don't need to go to the gym anymore. Just go, you know. I'm kidding. Now the question is, so you show up with this beautiful thing, and it's lovely, it's well packaged, and right there, and you know that your why is because you want to change, you know, the lives of people, blah, 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 blah. The question you want me to buy, why? Why should I buy? I understand that you will not always dance to my tune as a customer. But there must be something that will come out of your mouth, or a statement to be made by this bottle that will make me consider giving you my money. So you know the why, your own why for selling. If it doesn't align to my own why for buying, then I won't buy. Why should I care? I mean, how many of you have been on the street of Lagos and somebody's saying, you know, my child is in the hospital, da, da, da. You know why they're in the streets? They want to get money from you. Do you give them money all the time? You know why? You're asking this question. Why should I care? And every customer you meet or any prospect you meet is going to ask this question. The response you give will determine whether you make a sale or not. And that doesn't mean they don't want to buy. In fact, the moment they ask you this question is an indication that I might buy, only if you can convince me why I should buy. Follow me carefully. But the work of, for you to convince me, you then must know what can convince me. Are you following me? If you don't know what will convince me, you will never be able to convince me. So when we talk about skills like listening to people, asking the right questions, is all about you trying to find out what will convince me, why I should care. What people do a lot of times, they push product. They push a lot of product. Let's be honest with ourselves. Everyone in this room has seen a perfume before if you sell perfume. Everyone, if you're a fashion designer, everyone in this room, we've worn some clothes before. Call it, what do you call it now? Designer, bespoke, or, you know, one will just enter the shop and buy. Clothes, to some people, is clothes, right? But if I have to buy something because you are selling it, why should I buy it? Until you can demonstrate that why. Some whys are very straightforward, right? Honestly, I can buy this for the sake of a lot of things. Can I even tell you a funny story? So I was I want to use the word possessed, but that's fine, I won't use the word possessed. because we're online, right? I was so attracted to this stuff that, the dropper, right? Is that what you call it? I dropped. Then I moved. Then was this smelling, but I wanted to have a presence. And I was still in Lagos before I flew back to South Africa. So I splashed on my body. While doing that, the stuff fell and the dropper broke. And you think I'll throw it away? No way. So I kept the dropper by the side. So every time I want to use it, I hold it very carefully, put it in, I still spray. Then I went to work one day, I asked people, can you perceive, because I joined a new role. I mean, when I returned to SC, that's why I joined this new job. I asked my colleague, can you perceive the perfume I'm wearing? He said, not really. The next day, what do you expect? I splash again. Why do you think I was doing that? Do you know it's not about the perfume? It's about me. It's about the kind of presence I want to carry. It's about the kind of presence I want. It's about the way I want people to perceive me. So if you want to sell to me, you must be selling to my perception. You can't be selling. So guess what? I'm going to spend anything that I can afford to make me feel people perceive me as someone that smells good. You see where I'm coming from? Flip the slide. Let's just follow me carefully. There are various waves of the marketplace that's happened in the past, and I'm just going to allow me to just go through the various waves. There's wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Now, the first wave was in 1850 to 1950s, pretty much producer-driven economy. People just produce stuff and people just buy, right? The second wave, 1950-2000, is called the marketing-driven economy. If the marketing is right, the advertising is great, people will buy. The way we are hearing right now is a consumer-driven economy. The consumer determines what happens. So yes, luxury is not for everybody, but you must understand the way people that buy luxury think before you produce luxury or before you try to sell luxury. If not everybody will buy it, it means that the people that buy have a kind of mindset that you need to find. Are you following me? Just follow me carefully. I'm building this story. Next slide, please. So, everything you do has to be customer-centric. Everything you do must be about them, including how you show up every day. Must be about the people that you want to sell to. Must be very customer-centric. The way you package your story must be customer-centric. The way you package your product must be customer-centric. The way you arrange your merchandise in the store must be customer-centric. The way your store itself is structured must be customer-centric. It must be targeted to them. Show me the next slide. Follow me carefully. In wave 3 also, there's a power shift. And the power shift is moved from the makers or the sellers to the buyers. Not just because they own the money, but simply because the behavior has since shifted. I'm going somewhere, just follow me carefully. Next slide. And this is the real problem. Wave 3 shoppers access any product or service they want, while consumer power on steroids drives retailing in 3 ways. So there are 3 ways things have shifted dramatically. This is research-based, this is very thorough, and you will agree with me as I go through, and everything borders on access. The first one, more and cheaper access. The amount of retail space has outgrown the customer need by far. So if I look very well, I can find an alternative to what you're trying to sell to me. All I need to do is to look properly. The question is, if we sell the same thing, who will the customer buy from? You or me? Are you following me? And if you look around, there's this. I've been privileged, and I was checking this. Get to most of the airports in the world, you will find the same shops. The same shops. Go from one shop to the other, you will find the same kind of products. I mean, except for the stories behind them, right? Unfortunately, when I fly, I don't have time. So you must know, if you want to tell me that story, you must know where to find me to tell me that story. I almost missed my flight 2 weeks ago because there was a match. 1 week ago, there was a match, and then they shouted, "There go!" And then I was going to check who scored. Only for me to realize I was missing my gate completely. And you know how these things can be. All those gates, they can be very far from each other. But just follow me carefully. Number 2, quicker and easier access. Distribution is faster and more responsive. Faster and more responsive. Number 3, smarter access. Technology. Technology. What this is telling us is the power is shifted. If you really want to win in the retail environment, you cannot make it and say, you know what, they just have to buy it. In a retail environment, you have to consider the people that will use it before you buy it. Are you following me? You have to consider the people that will use it before you sell it or before you make it. Next slide. Consumers expect total access because they can. Access whenever, wherever, and however they desire. That's the new normal. Access is everywhere. Access is everywhere. They can access anything they want to access, every and anywhere. There's somebody that will make it very easy to access. In my new job, I'll tell you what I sell. I sell fuel, I sell lubricants, I sell bitumen, I sell fuel to aviation fuel. I sell petrol at the filling station. I mean, I don't stand and sell, but that's how I'm paid, I sell that, right? Good. Now, there's no country you get into, you will find a filling station somewhere. Why will somebody drive into my filling station? Well, except there's fuel scarcity and I'm the only one that happens to have fuel. But in many countries, there are no fuel scarcity like we have in Nigeria sometimes. But why will I drive into one? I'm not driving because of quality of fuel. It's the same. It's the same, except somebody mixes along the line. The same depot that brings, see, those things they are regulated. Except somebody starts mixing that station. It's the same. Let me tell you why people just drive into one. Experience. See, and I'm preempting myself, but I'm taking you there. Sell this thing to me. You can tell me all the stories. If you don't end up where it will make me feel good, I don't know why I should care. Right? There are things I've had for a long time, and every time I look at them, I only remember how they make me feel. Experience. There are 5 key changes in the market and consumer behaviors I want to take note of. Number 1, to everybody buying anything from you, experiences matter more than things. Like she said, people can have an item in their house that's $30,000 and you wonder what is that thing. We'll just tell you how it makes them feel. Let me tell you this very funny story. I don't even know. My son came to the house one day, he was crying. He was 4-year-old then, 5 years. And he said, oh no, he misses his great-grandfather. My man was, you don't even know him. I mean, that's my grandfather you're talking about. Even me, I've only seen him once in my life, and he's dead. Do you know that in some areas, that is an idea, right? I can do something with that. And we can all sit down. Maybe as I was shedding tears, shed it on an handkerchief. Then I would just create one glass somewhere, and I stick the handkerchief there. Then maybe when he grows up and he has his own children, and they come to see grandpa, I'll be grandpa then. I'm not grandpa yet, I'll be grandpa then. Then I will not show them, come. This is your father's tears. Ancestor-inspired tears. Did you read English? Are you following me? Then I put it there. There's some day somebody will say, he's a big boy. Maybe he plays rugby. He's learning rugby now. Let's say he now becomes a very big rugby star. Then he shared these tears many years ago. You can sell it for a lot of money. Then people that are buying it, look at it all up. What came to his mind? He said, "Has 5 years. What was he remembering his great grandfather that he has never met? It must have been a spiritual moment." Nonsense. Feelings. People just buy feelings. Feelings. That's what people buy. Number 2, the bespoke now trumps the traditional. So if it's every and anything, we don't want to buy, which is why he's saying the high street. I like the high street piece, the mastige piece, because, see, getting bespoke is no longer difficult. So if yours is general, well, then why should we care? That's the way people think right now. That's why you show up on a red carpet, you wear this stuff, you call the name of a designer I've never heard of, and people say, we don't know. Call it Ari Loche. Whatever happens, it doesn't matter. We don't know. But you see, bespoke is a new thing now. That's the way people think right now. So if you're ever designing anything, start thinking in that way. Number 3, vendors move from plutocracy to democracy. You don't just say, this is what I want to sell. You think about, in fact, creativity. I don't know why people struggle with creativity these days. It's very easy. I merge his design with my design with your design. We come up with something very good. Number 4, consumer wants new. And when do they want it? Now. So you cannot, the reason some of these things, except for antiques, I see there's a guy, I saw it on social media, they're using Pojo, one very old Pojo to advertise lands and something like that. Landway, which is good, very nice. Except for antiques like that. Honestly, consumers want new things and they want new stuff like now. So if you have a range of product and it's the same thing you've always had, they won't buy again. And I can use perfume because so before the introduction of Sapphire into my life, I wore a lot. I still wore it this morning. Because I travel with a spray. Mont Blanc Legend. Well, so I wear Mont Blanc Legend normally. But when I'm flying to Nigeria, because it's hot, or here, I wear Mont Blanc Intense. Because Legend will wear off easily. I live in a very cool area. But Nigeria, I wear Intense. And I don't wear it anyhow. I wear well. Like that, right? Now, every time there's a new Mont Blanc, even if it's just a tweak to the scent, I want to look for it. You know why? Because there was Mont Blanc Legend, there was Mont Blanc Intense. There are a lot of them. Mont Blanc is Mont Blanc. I can wear any Mont Blanc perfume. But you see, there's a craving for newness by everybody. If you're producing, you must be able to respond to it. You can't say, oh no, this design has been there long ago. We must keep it. They even quote the scripture. I'm a pastor in my other life. Remove not the ancient landmark. Don't say it anyway. Number 5, seller focus on group than individuals. And I'm going to explain this as we go on. Next slide. Let's talk about the new rules of retail. And I'm going to dwell on these before break. And then we'll take from there. The new rules of retail. Number 1. Next slide. Neurological connectivity. And I want to stay here. I'll tell you why I want to stay here, because if you get this right, you can get anybody to buy anything. You know that neurologically, anything you focus on grows. It just grows. That's the way it is. If you put your mind to one thing over and over again, neurologically it starts growing in your mind. Now, listen to this. You need to create a powerfully addictive connection between the consumer and Sapphire scent. The mere mention of your brand should alter the consumer's physical brain chemistry by releasing dopamine and triggering an instant desire to want to buy. Neurological connectivity. Let me tell you what happens in people's brain for you to understand what I'm talking about. Every brain has, hopefully, millions of neurons, right? They are called brain cells. So if the brain is alive, there must be cells in the brain, and they are called neurons, right? When there's a stimulus, there's a trigger, a neuron will pick the information and then pass it through its dendrite. So pass it through. So between one neuron and the other neuron, there's something called things called neurotransmitters, right? And every neuron also has what is called dendrites, like a receiver. Thank you. So this neuron will pass it to another neuron. Go to the next slide. And then this neuron will pass it to the other neuron, and they will keep passing it around. They can pass it to thousands of neurons, right? So the first time you say, Sapphire Sense meets your emotional needs, it doesn't make sense the first time. When I was growing up, the school I attended, if you're a naughty child, they don't sit you in a naughty corner. They make you cut grasses. How many of you attended such a school? By the way, we have an alignment because as a child, my parents went to sell, so there was a connection there. Maybe that's why I should be selling luxury, but that's fine. Let's go on. Right? Then you take the cutlass, right? They ask you to make a path in the bush. Then you'll be doing that, right? The first time, it is very difficult. Now, imagine going back to that same spot the next day. The same spot. Remember, there's little or nothing to cut this time. But as you're walking, you're also trampling on the stump, and then you're making a path there. Over time, if more people walk on the same place, it will look like maybe no grass has ever grown there. Have you noticed in a bush where you see a car, see a tire path? That's what happens. The same thing happens in your brain. So you mentioned Sapphire Scent meets emotional needs the first time, and you explain it to them. Does it make sense? Then you say it the second time. Doesn't make sense. Say it the third time. The first time, the neuron will pick it in their mind and make what is called a neural pathway. The second time, the pathway is no longer struggling. It's already created. It just flows. The fourth, the fifth, it gets to a point where they just know it. Is Bentley a great car? Do you agree? Yes. Who told you? Have you driven one before? You don't know. How do you know? They make you believe it. And you know what they do? They tell you every time. They even tell you in movies. If you watch 2012, right? When they were caught in the plane, the guy was looking for the key to the car. The man just said, engine, start. That's what we're talking. And you all believe that there's voice control for Bentley. You've never seen it in real life. You know what they do? They use every opportunity to get into your head. Neurological connectivity. You must find a way to get it. You can walk up to someone at a party and tell them, oh, you smell so good. Is that sapphire scent, whatever? Then they go, no. This is this. Oh, no, well, it should smell as good as sapphire scent. The person is interested. So what is that sapphire thing you're talking about? Do you get what I'm saying? It is neurological connectivity. That's what they do to you all the time. That's what they do all the time. That's what they do all the time. You must make sure that this is connected to them neurologically. Now, I was going to show you the neuro-linguistic programming communication model to just explain to you how we are all wired and how we are structured. Are you following me? Is it making sense to you? Because if you get it right here, we get it right anytime. Now, every one of us, we have in our minds what is called, in our head, what I call filters, and they are also called filters. So your filters are your language, your memories, your decisions, your values, your beliefs, and attitudes, right? And they do three things. They generalize, they distort, or they delete all the time. So if I tell you now, I'm a pastor, for instance. So I was I was going to London, and my son told me, please, you need to buy me, you need to go to Liverpool Stadium. I've never even been to Liverpool Stadium. And so you need to buy me Salam's jersey. Is it Salam? Salah. You see, I haven't told you Salah. In my mind, I'm like, you can't even find a Christian. Eh? I didn't tell him this because I'll be teaching him bias, right? But in my mind, like, it just came. Salah of all people. Because I know the last time, what about that guy that, is in Neymar now? Yeah, what about him? Why Salah? But I didn't tell him this, but that was what was happening in my mind. You know what was happening in my mind? My belief was distorting the information. So every time you hear something, your brain does something to it. Every time your customer hears something that you're telling them, their brain will do something to it. So you think, oh no, I didn't see myself standing there. Wow. Okay, can't you see this very beautiful thing? It's not coming out, I'll leave it. And they go, why, what is this? This is just, they can even tell this is just a waste of, what is this bottle made from?
Crystal.
This is just a waste of crystal. You know what they're struggling with? Generalizing, distortion, and deletion. Their mind is just telling them, you shouldn't be buying this. But you know what the work you're going to do? You're going to build a neural pathway by explaining to them the need this thing will meet for them. That's what you need to do. In fact, can I tell you this? You know, I told you about the two whys. You, as a person, must first of all believe so much about your product and be able to. So you must deal with your own mindset. I promise you, I've led a team of salespeople before, and they don't even believe in what we're selling. They're just there because it's a job, or they're just there because, oh, you know what, I don't have any other thing to do, so I'll just do this. You can't be a super salesperson or be a successful business person if you don't even believe in your product. But let me tell you something about belief. Belief is very easy. Belief is the easiest thing to do in the world. You know why? We believe first and find reasons to support it. Beliefs are not logical. Beliefs are not logical. Are you following me? I can challenge you, for instance. Any Christian? Anybody's a Christian? Good, okay. And you believe in Jesus? Have you seen him before? And you believe him? Why? Is what? Your mom told you so. You've experienced him. When? Before you believe or after you believe?
Before I didn't know him, but now after that.
You know why? You were persuaded. Somebody told you and you were persuaded.
Yes, somebody.
Introduce him. Yeah. So based on the person's credibility, you accepted.
And it's proofs,
And proofs. Okay. Okay. And based on the way you felt that day. Now you're confessing. Yeah. Because the next day you were now wondering, am I really ready for this thing? So the truth of the matter is that general beliefs are general. And I use that as an example. It's an extreme example, I agree. But a lot of times we find logical reasons to support our beliefs after the fact, which makes every buying decision an emotional decision. It depends on what you can communicate to them as it makes them feel. Let me show you the feeling. Go to the next slide, which should be the right. Thank you. And it's a bit dark because I don't know what has happened here. What you see up there, which is very dark, and I'm going to really just talk through them, are the factors that drive people to love retail experiences or whatever they are buying. So there must be similarity. Like, wow, you know, this shop looks like a shop I saw in, especially people that travel a lot. If your shop looks like a shop they like, let's say, in Paris, for instance. Like, wow, where did you get this concept from? Did you go to this shop in Paris? No. Immediately, because they had a great experience somewhere, they think they were going to have great experience here. Similarity. Number two, kindness. Some people just, you know, those are the kind of things. Just feel like, oh no. You know, it shows that if for instance, let's say you are, a proceed of this product go to a particular orphanage or something, some people will buy 100 bottles just to identify with that kind of act of kindness. Novelty, accommodation, touch, arousal, and you're selling perfume, sexuality. Yeah. People just, see, sexy is not a business word, by the way. If you tell someone, it just, you know, this smell just makes you feel sexy, they might not show it. And I know I'm a pastor, right? They might not show, but inside them, like, whoo. You know? You arouse something, the feeling that makes them connect with that thing. It's every buying decision is an emotional decision. It just depends on the kind of emotion we're talking about. Are you following me? I don't want to take you, I could take you through people buy from you before they buy, people buy you before they buy from you. Nice, that's fine. But let's come to the product. It's emotional. Just tell people, like she said, tell people this product you're seeing in front of you, Google it. There are only 12 of them made. You are holding the last bottle. Allow me to use a word, every proud man every proud, and I'm not using pride in the bad sense, every proud man will check the value on his card or his credit card and swipe. You know, just swipe. So we'll talk about it later. Then before he starts feeling bad, he will post it. I just bought the last bottle in the world on social media. So that people will say, but you spend that kind of money? So don't worry about the money. You know, we'll talk about it later. This is the thing. That is where it is. It must be meeting an emotional need. Ego. That's it. Emotional need. Emotional need. Emotional need. Which is why if you go to a lot of all these mastige, high street, luxury clothing shops, when you get in, they don't treat you, watch this, they don't treat you like a potential, they don't treat you like a prospect. They don't treat you like someone who's a window shopper. They treat you like someone that's bought. You know, and if you move past a stage, there's a salesperson talking to you. If you move past a stage, the manager will know, if you pass a line and they saw interest, the manager will invite you to his office. And then they provide you with options. They make you feel comfortable. I mean, they are not always very eager. So they don't have a dispenser dispensing water. They ask you for coffee or tea. They'll treat you as if you bought. Honestly, if you have money and you respect yourself, you will buy. You understand? You will buy. Even if it's one. And they know. In fact, they know that the credit card might not have balance on it. But they don't mind. They will still treat you that way. And they'll know. I mean, I went to a barber shop in London. I was flying out of London. And I went in there. I wanted to buy something for my wife. And I don't tell her. And I hope she's in here. No, she's not in yet. And I saw those stuff. And I checked. This is quite expensive than what I thought I can buy now. So I said, well, okay, fine. I'll come back later. The lady called me back. I said, please, this is my complimentary card. If she's not serious about it, she won't be giving me a complimentary card. Now that she's giving me a complimentary card, honestly speaking, every time I see a barber shop, I saw one in Zurich a few days ago, every time I see one, I remember that lady. Because she treated me like I've already bought. Emotions. So when you show up in a party, you know, and I'm going to talk to you about prospecting later. When you show up in a party and somebody is wearing something, somebody just fits your category of client, start treating them as a client from that point. From that point. And respect them, carry them well, you know, that kind of a thing. So these are the things you need to take note of. Go to the next slide quickly. So let's talk about the buying process. The buying process, and I'm running another session. The buying process. What happens when someone wants to buy? Let me give you an example. Maybe we should use an example here. If you want to buy a mobile phone, what do you do? And I know that Apple is not luxury. I have a lot of them. In my house, we have, between my wife, myself, and now my first son, we have 5 Apple phones. iPhones, you know. Everything. It failed me today because I don't know what's happening. iWatch, Apple Pencil. I'm beginning to think I'm an Apple ambassador. Like something's wrong with me. But let's say you want to buy a phone. What do you do? Let's make it practical. You want to buy a phone. What do you do? Now. What do you do? What will you do? Anybody?
Go online research on how it suits my everyday needs.
You will research. Okay.
Look because I do a lot of writing.
Okay.
Interoperability.
Okay.
Some gadgets.
Okay, so you want to make sure that it can operate over them, okay?
I'll also look into my budget.
Your budget. So your need first.
Yes.
So you actually consider your need.
Yes.
Anybody else with another approach of buying process? Anybody else? So so everything is talked about now borders about him. Every customer is very selfish. Do you know that? Yes. They don't like you. They are not your, I don't wake up in the morning and say, today I'm looking for someone to buy sapphire scent from. I don't, you're not my brother, you're not my sister, right? You're not my kid. You're a business person. You're selfish, you want to sell. I'm selfish, I want to buy what meets my needs. So there's a need or a want, as the case may be, need or want, okay? Another person, thank you. So you can buy from them because you want to encourage them. Support. New. You love new. So those are two things, right? So if it's new, you'll buy. And sometimes you buy to support. Can I ask you a question? Sorry, personal question. What is the value of a product you can buy just to support someone? You could buy much. So let me give you an example. You could buy for someone. Okay. Let me give you an example. Maybe my example will help you. So, sapphire scent, this one is how much? 150,000 naira. Dollars, naira, okay. Pounds. Now, that is one, right? And then I'm a salesperson now. And I'm selling cars, Toyota, right? Unless you have the money. In fact, this is too extreme, but I'll use this as an example. It's easy for you to support someone starting up with this, right? But I'm selling cars. Will you really buy that car just to support me? If you see, needs. I like the way you help me to explain it that way, you know. Because the moment the stake is higher, you start prioritizing. Everybody's like that. Number two, they then research and start looking for who can sell, who has this product that I'm looking for, or where is the best product that meets my needs, right? Now, in your case, if that lady in Burberry hadn't given me a complimentary card, I will not remember her here. Which is why it's okay to talk to someone and it's okay for them not to buy from you, but leave your presence. Number three, then you select. Number four, then you order, you use a contract as the case may be. Now, that last one there, renew or not, is fully premised on experience. So I can buy from you to a point because I'm helping you. So I can buy 2 bottles from you. But if I don't have a great experience, sorry, I won't support you next time. So before we went for lunch, we discussed the neurological connectivity required to make a sale happen or to get someone interested in your product. And like we said, a buying decision is very emotional. You appeal to someone's emotion, appeal to the way they want to feel, and you make them buy. And a lot of times, big corporations, they already know that, and that's why they do what they do. They advertise where they advertise. The preemptive distribution. Now, I like what Lara said. If the people that know about your product are only the people that can afford the product, then you are not doing well. So everyone should know about your product. In fact, you will go to an area and talk about your product just for the sake of talking about the product because you know they can't buy now. I love one thing that you guys did around the NYSC and all that. It's one of the strategies that people like Nestle, all those companies, they use. They just go to a place where they can find a group of young, upwardly mobile people that might not be able to buy today, but will be able to buy tomorrow. So that's what we call preemptive distribution. You look at people that you can already appeal to their hearts. for future distribution. People that buy, they buy because you appeal to their hearts, honestly speaking. Well, initially to their heads, just for the sake of it, but it touches them and they buy from you. It touches whatever part of them that it touches. And remember, it could be similarity, it could be arousal, it could be anything, it could be sexuality, it could be anything really. It doesn't matter. You just have to appeal to them first. I want to go into prospecting, but I like to talk about, if you go to slide 9, just go on, forward. Oh, back, okay, one step back, otherwise just leave it here. I always tell people this, and in the last few months, I've used this particular slide like this one and the next, the one after, about 2 or 3 times at places like this. And it's the fact that no matter how sophisticated your products are, the people that we buy are still human beings. So you need to deal with them as such. You need to package your selling as such, for them to really buy. Next slide. And the truth is, after all is done, everyone wants to be happy. Is that not true? Everyone wants to be happy. The question is, will your product contribute to their happiness? And somebody said, but you see, you can't make anybody happy. I agree. But happiness is a choice as much as it's a state of mind. Sometimes you just want to buy something for the sake of buying it. And sometimes that's what you need to appeal to. That's why you're selling to them. Okay. Let's talk about prospecting. Just move 2 slides down because of time. Prospecting. Thank you. Prospecting. I'll tell you why I want to spend some time here. People that do well as salespeople prospect well. People that do well as salespeople prospect well. As a matter of fact, your sales conversion, the volume or the volume of your sales conversion is directly proportional to the volume of your sales pipeline. Which is why if you work in a structured B2B, I should go over again, the value of your sales conversion is directly proportional to your pipeline. So in every sales organization, they don't push for you to have too many sales today. They start by having deals in pipeline, creating a massive prospect list that there's always someone you can sell to. How many of you have woken up on a particular day and there's nobody to sell to? It happened to me in the past, where I just realized, okay, now I've spoken to everybody I know to speak to. Who else am I going to talk to today? It's different when you have a store. If you have a store, you hope someone walks by, right? But if you do direct sales, if you don't have a prospect list, who are you going to talk to? And remember, what you don't want to do is to do a lot of cold calling. Otherwise, you are not better than all these telesales people that just call you at random. My name is Ari Dada, I'm working for Telecom. Can I talk to you? Come on, you're calling me, I'm working. The same way you do your own job, I'm doing my own job now. But if you focus a lot on building a robust prospect list, you will make a lot of sales. Let me even tell you this. The fact that I'm already your prospect, sometimes you don't need to do a lot of work to make me buy. The moment I remember you are the one selling this product and I need it, I'll call you. So you want to do a lot of work building a massive prospect list. Your prospect list, if you want to sell 10 products, I advise you must have 100 people at every point in time. Is that an easy job to do? No. But that's where sales actually happens. So what you need to do first of all, you need to do a lot of warm calls for prospecting to happen. Warm calls. Right? If everybody in this room, for instance, if everybody in this room sells Sapphire scent, for instance, as you've been engaging with people around the table since today, do you know the kind of perfume they are wearing? Because that's an easy spot to sell or to build prospect. Because if you don't wear what I'm selling and you wear something else, it means that you agree that wearing perfume is good. You're just wearing another perfume. If you know about mine, perhaps you can change your mind and buy mine. So warm calls is we just build engagement with people every time. See, sales is intentional. You don't just sell by when we ask someone to buy. You make it very easy. It's the same way I suit up to go to work in the morning, not my tie, and I have to do that every month. Rock up at work, I must clock in at a particular point in time. As a salesperson, you must take your sales like that, whether you have a physical office or not. Take it very seriously. Everywhere you go to must be an opportunity to get a prospect. And I'm not telling you something I read in books. As a salesperson in Standard Chartered, everyone was a prospect. The moment I have an idea, because there's a limit, you must be earning a particular amount before you can bank with us then. The moment I could profile you that you earn close to that or about that, you're a prospect. And you build that list. Say they haven't bought, well, that's why they're a prospect. Just put their names and their details in the list. And I have a lead book. It was very big. As I was leaving the organization, they made me give my lead book to someone else. Because I wasn't leaving to another bank immediately, I was leaving to business school. Number 2, become a thought leader. Building prospect. I'll talk about this a little bit more. Become a thought leader. Now, when it comes to people development, I'm a thought leader. How I get people to invite me to speak to other people is by doing what? Speaking. If you're selling perfumes, you must be an expert at perfumery. And you must make that thought leadership available. When you feel sick in your body and you want to visit the medical personnel, who do you go to? A farmer or a doctor? That sounds very like an insult, right? I know you're going to a doctor. But the same thing happens to you. If I want to buy, let's say you're a fashion designer. If I want to buy a cloth, and there's a fashion designer who consults with me naturally and tells me how to combine this and how to do this, who do you think I will contact? The one that consults with me or someone else I don't know randomly? The one that consults with me. Be a thought leader. Don't just do a product for NYSC. Go to NYSC camp and teach them branding, personal branding. That's potential sometimes, 3,000 people that could be clients. Or go to this school and teach them, go to Unilag for instance, and teach them how to start your own business. How many of you have ever been part of any multi-level marketing scheme before? Okay. I'm preaching to the choir, right? All right. Now, the truth of the matter is, they never tell you this is multi-level marketing start. They teach you business principles. Then when they are done, they make you feel if you're not an entrepreneur, you cannot make it in life. Then you take a deep breath. They will not tell you, don't worry, I have a solution for you. All you need, 15,000 naira. And then you make that money, right? What are they doing? They are presenting themselves as a thought leader. Go back. As a thought leader. And then as a result of, go back to prospecting. And then as a result of that, they're getting you interested and then you buy their product. Thought leadership. Thought leadership. You want to recruit people to be salespeople for you? Thought leadership. It's very important. Number 3, become a trusted resource yourself. You might need to include some other service, to what you do currently. Do you know that there are some people who need personal shoppers? Have you know such people, right? Do you know you might need to be someone's personal shopper and then eventually you become their personal supplier? Every customer wants a trusted advisor, someone they can always call on. There's a story of a guy. This is a banking story, but I'll tell you because I heard it and it inspired me. This gentleman wanted a particular man to move his company account to their bank. This is of many years ago. And you know what he did? He will go to his office, he will request for an appointment, he will do everything. He didn't get his audience. He didn't give him attention. Then this man lost his father, or his mother, or whoever. And then he went to his village for the burial. Then this branch manager heard of it and everything, and even found out that they are wearing a particular Ashwebi uniform for the burial. And he paid, got the uniform, and at the burial ceremony, he was the chief resource man. He moved chairs, did everything, to the point where the man recognized that, well, actually, you're wearing this clothes and you're working this hard, but I don't think you're a member of my family. Who are you? I said, no, so I'm the manager of this particular bank. Da, da, da. The guy got very interested. So who invited you? I heard about this and I thought, you know what, I have to invite myself and all that. They had a conversation, and after that, the account was opened. Wow. I mean, that's an extreme case. But the question is, if you only connect with me because you want me to buy from you, you don't have interest in me, and I won't buy. But if you connect with me because you're a resource person, I will build a relationship with you. But because every buying decision is emotional, every time I want to buy, I will feel guilty to buy from someone else, if not from you. Those are the things you need to think about. So you need to think about, who can I connect with that way? If I move on, jump the script. Don't sell yet. No, go back to prospecting. Don't sell yet. Don't connect with me and sell the same day. That's the problem. Emotionally, what you need from someone to connect with them is a yes. If I meet him and I go, do you want to buy this from me? What could be the answer? Why? Yes or no? Wow, that's a lovely white shirt you have there. That's a yes. Then I can pick up a conversation from there. You know, we forget the principle of breaking the ice and having conversation with people. See, by the time we have proper conversation, you are making, the more we converse, the more difficult it becomes for me to say no to you. So build prospect, don't sell yet. Don't meet me today and start selling. Don't say, no, we have to sell market. You know, no, don't meet me today and sell. Meet me today and connect with me. And what I would prompt you to do is that you start having conversations that are robust. Can we talk about football and not talk about selling yet? Can we talk about life and not sell yet? Can I just offer my service to you as a thought leader in people development without me saying, let me come and train for you? Can I talk to you about perfumes and all that? And let me just demonstrate how well I know about perfume and how I can help you without me saying, buy. Can we talk about your dress sense and how I can help you dress better without me saying, let me sew for you? Could it be that I will tell you how I can guide you and guide you in choosing the right clothes? And by the way, I sell perfume. Which brings you back to the why. Right? You know what? I like to make people look good. You know, I like to make sure that when they appear, they have a huge personal presence. I just, by the way, make clothes for them. I just, by the way, do makeups for them. I just, by the way, sell perfumes to them. But the perfume is not the main thing. The main thing is I add value to them. So you never hear me say, I'm a trainer. I'll tell you, I add virtues and values to lives through communication. I'll tell you that my life goal is helping people live excellent lives by recognizing, maximizing, and capitalizing on their best strengths. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but everyone wants to play to their strengths. The moment I nip it in the bud that when we have a conversation, you get to a point where you start thinking, I'm the guy to call when you want to capitalize on your strength. Will you be the guy to call when you want to buy your product? Or will you be that guy, one of the guys that just sell? Because we know how we deal with people that just sell. I mean, if I just rock up in your house, knock your door, you know, and say, hello, my name is Seller. I want to sell you this. Will you even give me your day? You can't even knock my door. My door is very far from the gate. I mean, you have to ring a bell. Your video comes up. We see we don't know you. We try to talk to you, and we cut it off. We don't open for you. Is that not what we do these days? Or do people still knock your door and they say, sit down, let's talk about this product I have. This one can heal headache. This one can heal. Not anymore, you know. Next slide, please. I'm going to shut down now so we can ask questions. When it comes to prospecting for a store, the solution is for retailing. The most important thing about your store is location. Location, location, location. See, let me tell you this. If you get it wrong with location, that's the end. Well, don't even bother. Don't bother about it. Location is very important. Where you sell your product, especially when you're setting up a store, really matters. If it's a luxury product, you better get a very solid luxury environment where people that can buy will come and buy. Except your product is only for window shopping. You know? Yeah. I know a lot of shops have opened somewhere and they close down. Why? Because they're in a very good place, but nobody's going to buy there. Nobody's going to buy there. You know? Somebody said, but I can sell ice to Eskimo. Not many people sell ice to Eskimos, right? You know, I know people talk about it, you know, they just make it sound nice. Hey, that place is cold already. But sell ice, you know, in the street of my village. You probably sell, right? People go to Nigeria, you know, I'm going to make it in retail. 190 million people. Excuse me, the 190 million people are not sitting in the same spot. You know, you need to find out where the 5 million will buy your product. You don't just set up, you know, even in a place like Lagos, the dynamics between island and mainland is terrible. Location. So don't just start a shop because it's fancy and nice to have a shop. You know, a lot of people, you know, and we have this conversation, my wife and I, about setting up a shop and all that. A lot of people set up shops not because of sales, because of their own ego. Today, I also have a shop. Your overhead will soon increase. You soon run out of business. Are you following me? It's very important. Next point, because of time. Let's talk about some disciplines, and I'm going to stop. We're talking again on Thursday. So I won't finish it because of time. Please stop me when my time is up so we can listen to Marcos. The discipline. Discipline, they say, is the bridge between goals and achievement. I'll tell you, a lot of people miss it because they are not very disciplined. As a salesperson, and I want to talk to you as a salesperson now, and we're all salespeople. All business people are salespeople. Next slide, please. First principle. You snooze, you lose. You need to be on your toes all the time. There's always someone going out there bringing up a product that will trump your product. Simple. Oh, you think everybody's happy for you? We have a lot of saying, especially in Africa, that makes all of us look nice. And the sky is wide enough for every bird to fly. Everybody feels that they are the only birds flying in the sky. Do you get what I'm saying? There's competition everywhere. So you can't afford to snooze. You need to be up and doing. Many of these organizations you see that do very well, they have their own research and development departments. They are thinking and planning, how do we make it better? Or how do we sustain what we have? You are Harry and Harry Incorporated. You are everything in yourself. So you have to be your own research and development company as well. You can't snooze. You have to put in everything. It has to be intentional. You don't then I know that as an entrepreneur or as a salesperson, you have the opportunity to manage your time well. That doesn't mean you should be lazy. Because people then misdefine that for, I can wake up anytime. I promise you, he doesn't wake up anytime. He wakes up when there's time time to work. I mean, if I have to put, I've been flying for the last 2 days. I finalized my slide when? At a layover, you know. The first thing I do at any airport, check whether there's internet connection. You work. Something about, you see, all work and no play. See, there's plenty time for play. Do you realize that play is very easy to press? You just press play, you start playing. Work is not easy to press. Work, sometimes you have to wind yourself. So I would rather get myself working, than struggle to play. Next slide. As a salesperson, even if you have a store, you need to make early daily sales calls. That pipeline, that prospect list is for something. See, you cannot say, I will call these people late. You can't start procrastinating, right? You have to tell yourself, every day I will call 10 people. How many of you have a routine? You call this number of people every day? Nobody. Can I challenge you? Let me challenge you, one or two people, from Monday. So use this week to build your prospect list. From Monday, call 10 of those people, group them into 10. Just be calling 10. Have a quality conversation about sales with them. See what will happen next week, Friday. See, salespeople make sales calls. Simple. Who do they call? Everyone in their pipeline. Whether new people or people that have bought that could buy again. Do you know that if you sell perfumes, for instance, you can be on someone's, in fact, they can do direct debit to your account. Because I know when my own will be done, right? So I know it's probably going to be up for, say, 3 weeks or 1 month, depending on how I use it. So I can do direct debits. So just be bringing it. Those are the things you need to, sales calls. You need to make sales calls, discipline. And it's very difficult to do, but yes, salespeople make sales calls. The same way we get to the office in the morning and we write things on papers and we get ready, your job, sales calls. See, closing the sale for me is not when somebody says I will buy. You know, closing the sale, you get your credit card or your debit card and you swipe. That is, see, when the money exchanges hands or we sign contract, sales is made. When I say I will buy, you have just said something. Let me give you an example. Let me paint a picture. There are 7 frogs on a fence. 7 of them decided to jump off. How many frogs are left? There are 7 frogs on the fence. 7 of them decided to jump off. How many of them are left? 7 are left. Decision is not action. It's just a pre-action. It's just a pre-action action. Are you following me? So when the sale is made is when that guy swipes the card or when the money exchanges hands. And that's one, so I say I will buy. When they say I will buy, you need to help them buy. I remember what we used to do those days. The moment you tell me you want to open an account with me, then when I used to sell in the bank, I'll give you a form. Because the day you fill the form and sign, I'll keep it. I can even help you take your passport photograph. So you tell me, sir, I don't have photograph. Don't worry. Yeah. We snap you. We print. All you need to do now, sir, just give me the check. So I don't have the money now. Write a check. It's your account. Don't worry, it's your money. Let me open the account. Can you do the same and close the sale? The next one. Next slide. Referrals. Or referrals. How you sell continuously, how you sustain your pipeline, is by asking everyone that's gotten good experience to refer you to someone else. Right? I'm not saying that, but actually I'm saying that. I don't speak everywhere, but if you find a place you think I can speak, refer me. I'm saying that now, actually. Like for real, right? Yeah. But you know the kind of place I can speak, right? You know, yeah. I think you know. You should know. Okay. Do you get what I'm saying? Don't be shy to say, who else do you think will buy? And as they are talking to you, take a pen and write them. Don't just, if you come to me now, okay, you sell something to me and you tell me, and you ask me, who else do you think you will buy? You say, my friend will buy. Don't say, okay, we talk about it. No, okay, Harry. What is the name of your friend? What is the phone number? When can I meet him? Say, no, take it easy, you are being aggressive. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to come across as being aggressive. I just want everyone in your entire, sphere of influence to enjoy the value. Say, really? Okay, keep them. See, my prospect list grew because I got referrals. Until date, I still get referrals. As a salesperson, it's a discipline. You can't be shy about it. You can't say, I don't want them to think that I'm desperate. Remember your why at the beginning, right? That's why you're doing this. Next one as I close. Go big or go home. If you start playing little, small, okay, we're just doing it by the side, it doesn't work. If you want anything to work, you make it work. Go big or go home. And with luxury, you need to start by changing your own mindset and be in the sphere of people that can buy.
Don't preempt my presentation.
Okay. Pretend as if I didn't say that part. And you get to what I'm saying? That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. You should be your first brand. That's a part of the presentation. If you're selling sapphire scent, you have to wear sapphire scents. And you have to know the one you're wearing. You have to know how it's made and talk about it. You have to know what it does to you and for you. You know? You have to know that, it makes me feel this way. I feel comfortable. Make it, you are the best conviction your buyer can ever get. I'll see. That's what you need to do to them. That's what you need to do. Go big or go home. And finally, discipline. These days, this is cheap publicity. You have to be big on social media and talk about your product on social media. Talk about it. Let people know what you're selling. The reason people are unable to talk about their product on social media is either because they are skeptical about the platform or they are not proud about what they sell or what they do. I'm not a thief. I'm a speaker. I will speak on social media so that people can hear me. If they feel that it's not correct, let them give me feedback. I will take it and grow and speak again. That's what I'm going to do with the platform. You keep doing it. See, it should be, imagine this. Imagine what could happen if the volume of engagement that Wale has on social media, everybody else in that value chain of 300 distributors have the same thing. You guys will cause a movement. You will cause a major movement. People will start wondering, what is this thing? You will see people start joining for aspiration purposes. It will become an achievement. That's how business grows. Gucci gang. Honestly speaking, where's Gucci gang?
I know where.
And social media is big now, right? You can say any useless thing and it works. E.g., show my age mini. Just wake up and as long as many people are talking about it, it trends. Whoa, why? And now, all right, because of the next session, I know that you know that I deserve an accolade now. Thank you very much.